Isaac Vanell, goalie.
Luke Fagan, defense. Blake Hoffer, forward. Teddy McCurlis, offense. Ryan Mulvey, defense. Jonah Weiss, forward.
Charlie Preston, forward.
Graham Vanderplug, forward. Anthony Pinto, defense. Owen Cosmere, forward. Asher Vanderplug, forward. Jackson Ventura, offense. Alex Tutai, offense. Thomas Preston, goalie. Charlie Mechanic, offense.
Declan Quinn, defense.
Braden Mendoza, defense.
Will Fagan, defense.
Zach Boris, offense. Daniel Sokol, forward.
Welcome everybody to the South Hockey Network, live on YouTube, live from the Glenview Community Ice Center on this beautiful day in the Chicago area. 45 degrees now, but it was much warmer earlier on. This is the Wintrust South Hockey Network. We thank Glenview Bank and Trust for being our presenting sponsor all season long. This is the AHAI State Playoffs, the road to All-State Arena, and Glenbrook South's potential third state championship in program history begins tonight as they take on the Lake Forest Scouts Varsity 2 team coming out of the Academic Hockey League. Dylan Ward on the call with you alongside John Ward, but before we introduce John Ward, we'll turn it over to a pregame interview I had with head coach of the Titans, Jim Philbin, just moments ago. Well, Coach, you guys fall in a close series against Loyola in the SHL, and now the focus shifts to state. What's your biggest message to the group in terms of shaking that one off and focusing on a new goal?
Well, it's a new season right now, so we have 5 games left in our season. We ended the season series with Loyola. In my opinion, on a good footnote. We didn't win, but we played really well in that game, and we bounced back from a bad game. So we got some learned lessons that we took from that, and we had a good week of practice. And we're gonna, start our state run tonight.
The SHL being series and state being single elimination, does that format switch change anything about your approach to this tournament?
No, January, February games, we play them every shift's like an overtime shift. You got to play hard, play aggressive all the time. You can't take any time off during your shift. Got to keep pucks out of our zone and be aggressive to the net.
You got a Lake Forest Blue team that's going to be trying to keep their season alive after they got swept in the AHL quarterfinals. You get any pointers from your son about the Scouts team?
Yeah, I got his notes that he's had for when they played this year, and then we watched a bunch of video on them. We watched them play against North a couple games, so we seem to know what they're going to be doing. I think they're going to play a little more defensive game against us. As long as we keep our speed going through the neutral zone, chip pucks, get them behind their D and attack the net will be good.
All right, well, last one for you. You guys are the number 5 seed in this tournament, meaning that the first 2 rounds are played right here at Glenview Ice Center before heading to the neutral site. How valuable and meaningful is it for your team, especially the seniors, getting to play these games in this building?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's fantastic. Being on your home ice, your practice here. They're familiar. We're all familiar with the corners, the bounces off the boards. And for our seniors, we want to win the next 5 games for them. Win the next 2 here, and then go play at West Meadows for a couple and go to the All-State Arena.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Head coach of the Titans in year number 36 behind the bench of Glenbrook South Hockey. Dylan Ward on the call alongside John Ward, as I just mentioned. Gerard Boris, our video producer, and Joe Hoffer is on the scoreboard today. Well, John, different from the SHL playoffs, these are single elimination games, as I hinted at in the interview. And Glenbrook South lost the season series to the Lake Forest Scouts varsity team. And it's the same jersey, but a different team, no doubt about that.
Yeah, Dylan, I just thinking about that 1-game elimination just adds a little extra nervousness maybe for the players. for the parents up here, but you know, it also adds just an opportunity. You put your best game out there, and you catch the other team off guard, and you're on the winning end of that formula.
Glenbrook South, the number 5 seed in this tournament. Lake Forest Blue, the number 28 seed. If you want to win a state championship, you have to post 5 wins in a row starting tonight. Glenbrook South in the round of 32 over the last 3 seasons. This is the 4th season that all teams are required to start in the round of 32. Up until 2022, if you finish top 8, you got to bye to the round of 16. That is no longer, but you look at last season, 2025, GBS beat Neuqua Valley here in this building 3-0. 2024, they beat St. Viator Varsity 2, 8-0. 2023, they beat New Trier Gray 4-0. So Glenbrook South, since that change to the format of the bracket, has not allowed a goal in the round of 32. And they'll try and do that again behind Thomas Preston and Isaac Bonnell.
Well, Dylan, just like Jim Philbin said, though, it's a brand new season, so I think that's the mentality you have to have. If you look even, like, let's talk about the last 8 games both of these teams have played. 4 games and 4 games for each team. They've only got 1 victory coming out of those 8 games. So, you know, you got to have a short-term memory. You got to forget the past, start of something new here, and you got to put your best effort forward. I haven't seen Lake Forest. I don't know what kind of speed they have. Philbin also talked in the pregame about that speed through the neutral zone. I'm expecting some of their quicker players to actually carry the puck over the blue line and then set plays up from there instead of maybe passing it in.
Lake Forest finished 6th place in the Academic Hockey League, which is the division of the SHL for the Varsity 2 teams. They ended up playing GBN Gold, which is their Varsity 2 team, in the AHL quarterfinals. Got swept in that series, losing Game 1 6-3 and Game 2 3-2. So just like for the Titans, the Scouts are fighting to keep their season alive right now. This Lake Forest team is led by 10 players that were part of last season's state championship win at the United Center for the JV side. 10 of those players on that team are on this team now. So yes, GBS is the favorite on paper, but look at this Lake Forest team. You've got 10 players that hoisted a state championship at the end of last season. They know what it takes to make a run in this AHAI state tournament. And, you know, again, GBS is a heavy favorite coming into this one based on the seeds, but there's a reason you show up to the rink, you get the refs, you buy the ice, and you fill the stands. It's 3 periods of hockey, and you have to come out on top.
Yeah, and if you look at Brett Moshe, he's probably, you know, really going to have to rely, and those 10 players are going to have to rely on some good feelings from last year. You know, that's the experience. You got to look at those 10 players and say, okay, they were on the winning end last year. Can you bring all of that, right? It's a brand new series, but can you bring some of that experience and calmness to this team? And then I think you're going to see the best effort out of Lake Forest, too.
Well, GBS lost in the SHL quarterfinals to Loyola Gold, and John, you know by this point, after a few years of doing this with me, that in high school hockey, you have 2 playoff tournaments happening at the same time. And yes, you want to win both, right? But the state championship is obviously the one everybody remembers, and almost maybe a blessing in disguise for GBS to get knocked out in the first round of SHL, because now you go all in on state, right? There's no distractions. Every game, every practice is about lifting the state championship trophy at Allstate Arena. Not United Center this year, unfortunately, due to the condensed Olympic schedule, NHL schedule with the Olympic break. They didn't have enough time or dates or whatever to host the state championship at the UC, but that's how it goes. And Allstate Arena is a great venue too. And I mean, yeah, the cool thing is to go play at the United Center, but what you remember is not skating on that ice. What you remember is winning the trophy.
Yeah, I think what you're going to remember is you're going to be with the players you've been playing all year long, and if you can do something together, that's the feel-good, you know, part of this. If you take a look at, you know, these guys are young players. They probably would rather play more games, probably want to be in both of those playoffs, but you might see a jump and their legs tonight because they've played 1 or 2 less games at this point. They probably want to play more, but that's the situation they're in now, and now they can put it all on the line right here starting tonight.
Sorry about that, John. You're looking at the starting goaltenders for both teams. Thomas Preston gets the nod from Jim Philbin. 14-10-2 in the SHL regular season, a goals allowed average of .245 and a save percentage of .920. 3 shutouts to his name. On the other side, it's Andrew Jones for the Lake Forest Scouts. 8-7 in the AHL season. .253 goals allowed average, .915 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Those stats you have to take with a grain of salt because while it is pretty much the same amount of games played, it's a much different strength of schedule. We are underway. Titans in the gold and Lake Forest in the gray. The road to the Allstate Arena starts now as a quick deflection by Weiss in on net, stopped by Jones, and he's 1 for 1 on the Titan shots.
Yeah, that was Weiss just kind of redirecting that shot from the far face-off circle through the slot and through the paint. He did a nice tip in there. Anything could have happened.
Titans without 2 skaters tonight. Well, really 3. Declan Quinn, who's been out all season, recovering from ACL surgery. Asher Vanderplug recovering from appendix surgery. We'll hope to see him back in the lineup before the season end. Luke Fagan out with an upper body injury as well. So the Titans a bit short-handed today. John, I think you have the numbers. We'll talk about that at the next whistle, but Weiss tries to stuff this one in, stopped by Jones. Lake Forest able to get that one out to the neutral zone. Blake Hoffer coming off a 2-goal game in Game 3 against Loyola Gold SHL playoffs. He'll dump it in. Now Ventura goes to Weiss, back up to the left point. Anthony Pinto, near side Ryan Mulvey takes a shot. That gets blocked by Carruthers. Mulvey backhands this one down to the right wing circle. Ventura throws it to the net. A nice stick there by Manili, keeping that one from hitting his goaltender. Now Hoffer throws it to the blue paint. Weiss right there trying to tap it home. He could not, and it bounces out to Lake Forest. Braden Mills will bring it over the line.
Well, GBS is going to like those numbers because Braden Mills is coming over. He's so quick. He was a 1-on-4.
Mills 2 goals in the AHL quarterfinals against GBN Gold, their varsity 2 team. McCrulis now taken away, and Redding brings it over the line. Left wing side, sticked away by the Titan captain Ryan Mulvey. They'll try and clear the zone. Now McCrulis catches up to the puck, gets it ahead Blake Hoffer. They stay onside, according to the linesman. Hoffer centers it, Redding intercepts, and Lake Forest will come out with it. This pass missed Graydon Rother, and it's regained by the Titans, not for long. That looked offside. No call there. It's brought into the corner by Redding. Now Herbert being pressured. Tough angle shot attempted, but that misses the cage by a wide margin. So now, out to the neutral zone, intercepted by Wenninger, and dumped in by Herbert. Lake off for a change. Preston leaves it behind the net for Will Fagan. Fagan up ahead off the skate of Kosmeter. Couldn't pull that one ahead of Marcel Meyer. Now McCrulis, far side, knocks a man away from the puck, and Lake Forest will bring it out. Nelson comes across, Stevens got it taken away by Teddy McCrulis. Look out, 3-on-1 for the Titans. McCrulis down the right wing side, try to pass across, and a good stick by Justin Manili. Sent all the way down by the Scouts, and that'll be an icing. And GBS will have an offensive zone faceoff. Look at this again. I thought this was pretty clearly offside. I guess they'll say Hoffer was the one who brought it back. That's the only thing I can think of.
Nick McCrulis just brought that puck over the blue line, and all 3 GBS players were in a straight line, and that Lake Forest defenseman had an easy time of just stop. There was only one lane to put that puck, and the Lake Forest player just made sure that he was covering it, and it didn't get through.
Ryan Mulvey with a shot off that Titan face-off win, top of the right circle. That's stopped by Andrew Jones. Lake Forest main guy, Jude Mobile, played 12 games. He was in net for that 2-0 shutout in the state championship at the JV level last season. But he's no longer with the team, now playing for the Milwaukee Junior Admirals AAA U16 team, the same team that Owen Kosmeter came from to join the Titans this year.
Well, Owen Kosmeter has been a fantastic addition to this team. He's put up a lot of points. he's a key person in this Philbin plan, so nice to have him here.
Weiss and Vidra at the face-off circle. It's won by the Titans. Ryan Mulvey lays it off the end boards for Nick Ventura, who backhands it out. Neuwirth. Now to Mills. Nice reception by Braden Mills. He comes across, tries a shot, and Preston makes the save. He'll hang on for another whistle.
Dylan, it seems like GBS is kind of slow rolling it, slow start and soft start, whatever you want to call it today. Just maybe getting a feel, but I definitely don't see the speed that they're capable of, and some of the big plays that you probably already see by now.
Now here's a shot by Vidra and a big save made by Preston. It's brought out by the Titans now. Weiss off the far boards, neutralized, picked up by Blake Hoffer. He's into the zone, drops it off. Nick Ventura with a shot, and that's stopped by Jones. Now Lake Forest comes out, saucer pass to Carruthers, but just past his stick. Ryan Mulvey takes a hit, near side corner, he's hurting. That's gonna be a penalty against the Scouts as they touch up. Good to see Mulvey get back up in a hurry. Titans going to the power play.
Yeah, if we take a look at this, you'll see Carruthers just kind of finishing this off in the corner, and maybe there was no real need to do that. It's just a little bit out of our viewing area, but he just kind of, that puck was long gone, and I think that he just kind of finished it up on the boards way after the normal time that you'd be taking a hit to get rid of the puck.
Carruthers with 112 penalty minutes in the regular season. By the way, the reason you didn't see that hit in the corner is not poor, but Joe Hoffer has stepped in to do camera while Gerard fixes the left side goalie cam, which currently looks like this. So
okay.
We'll get that fixed. Power play for the Titans. We'll see what they can do here. They were 2 for 12 against Loyola Gold in the SHL quarterfinals. Lake Forest on the kill this season, 5th best in the AHL, 80.6%. Face-off win for the Titans. Hoffer sends it down low. Manili picks it away. Can't clear the zone past Hoffer. Now Mulvey near side. Over to Hoffer. Near the Stars logo. Takes a shot. Blocked by his own man, Cosmeter, inadvertently. Now Will Fagan. Below the line. To the near side for Cosmeter. Picked off by Lake Forest, and they will clear it down.
I don't know if Cosmeter was, blocking. He might have been trying to tip that shot.
Hoffer now dances his way around Herbert. Hoffer into the zone, takes a shot, blockered away by Jones. Now far side, they'll try and clear it out, kept in by Will Fagan. Down to the corner, Cosmeter. Back up top to the 4-year captain, Ryan Mulvey. Now Hoffer. Mulvey, down to the circle, Cosmeter. Mulvey back up top, right point. Over to Hoffer, looking for a shot. Here's one, takes a deflection and goes wide. Mulvey, his 4th attempt to win a state championship. Over to Cosmeter off a deflection, and his shot goes wide. Correction, he's not a 4-year captain, but 4-year varsity player. 2-year captain of this team.
Dylan, I was going to talk to you about that. Freshman as a captain. There must have been a story behind that.
Alternate captain his sophomore year. Awarded the C. First season after Zach Freemuth graduated. Hoffer gives it up. Lake Forest able to clear the zone. 18 seconds to go on the power play for the Scouts. Weiss goes over to Mendoza. And they cycle back out to Jonah Weiss. Time winding down on the power play. Weiss centered it. Zach Boris with a shot. That gets blocked. He tried for his own rebound. He could not. Lake Forest is out of the box. By the way, it looked like Reed Bassin was serving that penalty. It must have been a 2 and a 10. We'll check the game sheet here in a moment. On that hit by Carruthers on Ryan Mulvey. Titans are offside here. And yeah, boarding to Aiden Carruthers goes in the book as a 2 and 10.
Well, all of a sudden you get another, it's not a 2-minute penalty, right? It's a 12 minute. I know they don't count the 10 towards the power play or penalty kill, but, I knew that play was pretty long past the puck being gone, so I think that's why you got the 10.
Their leader in points in the AHL regular season, 16 goals, 5 assists. A tough blow for Lake Forest to not have that man out on the ice, even though we're playing 5-on-5. Below the goal line, Far side corner, Graham Vanderploeg down to Daniel Sokol. He'll try a shot, and that's stopped by Jones. Rebound to the slot. Vanderploeg shoves a man down. He'll get a penalty for that. And another takedown by Mendoza. Cross-checking will be the penalty against Vanderploeg, and I don't think Mendoza's going to get one on the second one, but I thought this was a pretty light tap by number 20 in goal.
Yeah, usually they wouldn't call a second penalty. There's the cross-check, and then the takedown happens right after that, but usually they just call that initial penalty and kind of like, you know, disregard what happens after that before they can blow the whistle.
So now Lake Forest gets a chance on the power play, looking to break the ice. 2 for 10 on the power play against GBN Varsity 2 in the AHL quarterfinals. GBS is able to clear. How about the Titans? A perfect 4 for 4 across 3 games against Loyola Gold. On the penalty kill in the playoffs, Vidra dumps it in. Ryan Mulvey around the boards, and it pops out. Kosmeter will try and race after this puck. Neuwirth's got a step on him, and he'll play it to the far side for Herbert. Now near side for Mills. 7 minutes gone by. This will miss the net on the dump in. So while Lake Forest is on the power play, they're guilty of icing. Not something you want if you're head coach Brett Machia.
Dylan, if I was GBS, I'd be looking at this as a shorthanded opportunity here. I mean, if they are to get that puck, and maybe instead of just throwing it down the end of the ice, take a quick look up, see who you have, tell your players to just be always moving forward towards that Lake Forest defensive zone, and you can see if you can make an offensive play here.
Hoffer has 2 power play goals on the season in SHL play. He's out on the ice, but Vidra gets around him with speed into the zone, takes a shot, and a nice save made by Preston. Rebound behind the net, net comes off, and that'll stop play. Hands on the head for Graydon Rother, who just watched his team with a grade A opportunity.
Yeah, Dylan, Lake Forest Vidra has really shown some speed. This isn't the first time he's done it tonight. You know, and we talk about that set play where you get, not only do you get a shot on net, but also you're looking for that rebound as Preston kicks that thing out. He just didn't have any of his players there. In the split second, that one's got to hit something.
It's not often that a puck hits the ceiling here at Glenview Ice Center, one of the tallest ceilings in the SHL. There you have it. It is possible.
Well, we saw a couple pucks go through when we were in Heartland Ice Arena, and they literally went through about 5 different sections of the frame up on the ceiling and actually never touched anything.
Right. .45 to go on the Scouts power play. Glenbrook South's first game of the AHAI State playoffs. Looking ahead to the round of 16 if they can get a victory here. Jonah Weiss shorthanded. Near side corner, he's knocked off the puck, and Nick Neuwirth is going to bring it out. To the near side for Vidra. Out to the neutral zone. Braden Mills will knock this one in. Goes down below the goal line. Ryan Mulvey clears it around the boards and all the way down. Scouts leading shots 4-3, but still 0-0 game nearing the halfway point of period number 1.
Well, I think you got to wake the beast here.
It almost seems like GBS is kind of playing down to this team, right? They're not playing this game as they would against an SHL team, at least not right now. Here comes Hoffer down the left wing side, tried a centering pass and a great play made by Thomas Wenninger. Now here's a shot from Hoffer, and that one looked like it was tattooed to go just under the crossbar, but misses the cage.
You know, Blake Hoffer has such a great shot. You can see him just kind of find the puck here at the end after he set up the first play, and he just kind of tries to rip one in the upper right-hand corner past the Lake Forest goalie. But I love Blake Hoffer. He's got such a hard shot. I just listen to the sound of the puck hitting the blocker or hitting some pads on the goalie, because it usually makes a really, really big noise.
Charlie Preston with a shot off the face-off. That one stopped. The Prestons, the only active pair of brothers tonight. The Fagans are missing Luke. The Vanderploegs are missing Asher. Zach Boris ready for another face-off. Goes to the far side. He wins it. Preston up to Will Fagan with a shot. Looking for a deflection. May have gotten one from Ventura. Got a Titan out there wearing the number 38. Not sure who that is. He's wearing a black helmet. That might be a Varsity 2 call-up. I'll have to check on that in a moment. I didn't get that report pre-game from Jim Philbin. We'll figure out who that is as soon as we can. Here comes Zach Boris over the line, left wing side. At the circle, tries a shot, stopped by Jones. Rebound, Ventura, missed the cage. Goalie out of position, unable to take advantage of it. Still 0-0, under 8 to go in the first period. Zach Boris, far side half wall. Lake Forest looking to get it out. Can't get it past the left point. Will Fagan down to Boris. Still they battle for it. Cuts to the slot, takes a shot, blockered away by Jones. Rebound sent to the blue paint, and a whistle as...
No, I don't think it is. I think he just thought that Jones put his mitt on it. That was about the fastest call you're going to see tonight. And that was no near, smothered deck, so it went right out. And I think the referee just called the whistle. He just lost sight of it for 1 second because it was such a bang-bang play.
38 is Ethan Smaha, by the way, so he has stepped in to play defense. So the Titans do have 6 defensemen out there tonight, missing Luke Fagan. Ethan Smaha playing in his 3rd game with the Varsity 1 this year. Here's Tutai with a shot, tough angle, and that's stopped by Jones. 6 for the Titans. Here's a shot from the right point, looking for a tip by Tutai. Unable to find one. Alex Tutai ended the regular season on a 3-game assist in that span, but unable to find a point against Loyola Gold in the SHL quarter. And now we get another whistle. Was that an icing?
Yeah, that was an icing, and I was just going to say, probably don't have this on the replay, but Jones kind of lackluster effort to put his front of that puck. He just needs to be lucky that puck wasn't on net. It was about 6 inches off. Maybe he knew that, and he knows more than I do, but it just looked like he wanted to stop it, and it just eluded him. So good thing that it didn't have a net behind him.
Jones is for the Lake Forest Scouts. He's been their main after Jude Mobile left the team. Go play AAA. .931 save percentage in any division. It's never too shabby. His season save percentage. That looked like it may have leaked out, but they'll rule it to be onside. Goes to the far corner, Will Fagan to the near side. Kept in the zone, left point, tipped away by Will Fagan to Buchanan. Out to the neutral zone, playing on a line with Blake Hoffer and Jonah Weiss for this shift. To Buchanan, able to force that one out of the neutral zone, and Wenninger will dump it in from neutral ice. Braden Mendoza across the line, left wing side, gets around Neuwirth. Mendoza just out of the reach of Buchanan. He'll force a backhand shot. Weiss right in front of the stop by Jones, and he'll hang on.
Boy, that was some grace there. I really liked it, set up the great play. So Mendoza just kind of coming through. This is the end of the play, but I really like that, those strides by Mendoza, and I think that's what GBS is going to have to do right now. Just carry that puck over that blue instead of trying to pass it in or dump it in.
Shot off a face-off win, wouldn't find its way through a maze of bodies, and the Scouts are able to clear it out. We stay scoreless here, under 6 to go in the first period. Mishandled, Graham Vanderploeg, backhand pass to the center, blocked by Neuwirth. Rother, and it goes right to the goaltender Jones. He puts a glove on top of it. 5:40 to go in the first period. South lead shots on goal, 7-5, 0-0 game.
Well, I'm not going to say this too many times, but I definitely think this GBS team has to snap out of it and play the way that I've seen them play so many times this year.
Pinto missed shot. Now he's bodied by Herbert. It stays in the zone. Graham Vanderploeg towards the net. Blocked by a body. And now Lake Forest will get it out to the neutral zone. Here comes Lawson Herbert. Taken away by Anthony Pinto. Behind the goal line, and Ryan Mulvey. Near side corner will flip it out. Daniel Sokol just passed him. Never touched anything, and it'll go for an icing. Offensive zone draw coming for Lake Forest Varsity Blue.
Dylan Herbert's another Lake Forest player that has spent some time in the box this year, and also along with Nelson out there, boy, they got some size. I kind of look for those big strides, those long reach. Sometimes you know that's such a big advantage. We've got some great defensemen on GBS that can handle it, so they just got to make sure that they don't get caught napping.
Here come the Titans, 3-on-2. Cosmeter to the near side. McCrulis down to Cosmeter again. Tried to pull it to his forehand and could not get that one past Jones. No icing. It takes a deflection. Braden Mills wins the battle. Mills sent it to the slot just there. And Tutai flips it out. Wenninger and reaching and glove that one down as McCrulis. He lost his glove in the process. Nice play by Will Fagan to pass that glove over with his stick.
Yeah, does that count it as an assist?
Yeah. Goal. McCrulis, one touch to Cosmeter. He'll come over the line first. Owen Cosmeter to the slot. Hang on to the puck, and it's brought out by Meyer. Through the neutral zone, Meyer flips it in. Hit into the boards by Tutai, and then he gives him an extra whack. Below the goal line, Will Fagan. Owen Cosmeter, and out to the neutral zone. Fagan gets around two bodies. Will Fagan across the wing side. Puts on the brakes, kicks it back to his sticks. Sent it back up to the point, Mendoza. Fires a shot deflected by Tutai and stopped by Jones. He'll hang on.
Dylan, that was a wrist shot from the point by and Tutai. Great positioning here. The only problem is when he does tip it, he doesn't tip it in such a outrageously different direction. And so Jones was lined up for it, and then it just kind of maybe changed directions like 2 inches, so it ended up right in the breadbasket.
Face-off win cleanly up to Pinto. He'll fire a shot. That one goes wide. Jonah Weiss towards the blue paint, knocked away by Blake Hall. He'll chase that puck down to the far side corner. Lake Forest will get this out. Ryan Mulvey lays it in. Around the boards far side, Rother picks it up. Delayed offside against the Titans, and with Weiss pressuring, they'll call it and send the face-off back out to the neutral zone. 3:26 to go in the first, still waiting for our first here in the AHAI State Playoffs. First round of 32.
Dylan, I think if you asked Philbin, he would have been surprised that this score is 0-0 with just 3 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the first period. So he's looking for something else here, and he wants to start, building up his side of the ledger here so that, you can go make some different plays. Try some different things here, but right now you got to get that first goal.
Offer out to Weiss. Jonah Weiss will slap it. Blue team, their varsity 2 team. They are 5-3 against varsity season. They haven't played any top-level SHL teams. Their most notable win was a 3-1 victory on G7 against Deerfield, the number 18 seed in this Red Division tournament. So now they haven't beaten any team, but they can play varsity 1 teams.
Dylan, I think what you do is you put up on the board before they come, where can we look for some good things that have happened, and certainly that's one of them. I mean, to be able to win some of those games regardless of how they're ranked, right, you have to start looking for things that are going to be positive messages you can build on in that locker room. And I don't know, maybe, right now it's 0-0.
Boris at the face-off dot, wins it to the captain, Ryan Mulvey. Far side, Pinto can't get it out. Caruthers takes it back. He's out of the penalty box, done serving his 2 and 10, so he's got some fresh legs out there. The leading scorer in the AHL for this Lake Forest team. This pass just misses to Buchanan. He'll chase it down. Nelson gets to it. Below the goal line. Picked out by Thomas Wenninger. He'll try and play it off the backside of the goal. He didn't work out. Boris comes free with it. Another battle to Buchanan in the corner. Looked to center that one, but it Deflects right off a Lake Forest skater, and they'll send it out to the neutral zone. Well, at this point in the game, 2 minutes left in the first period. In other circumstances, you'd be happy to be tied in your first round of playoffs. Not trailing, but at some point, a little ounce of panic starts to set in and say, you envision this game and these two teams playing, at least on paper, you might think by this point in the game it might be 2-0, 3-0, so I mean, you've said it a couple times, you gotta snap out. We've seen this Glenbrook South team, I've seen them play pretty much every game, you've seen them a lot. I would definitely say it's safe to say that they're playing down to this Scouts team.
But if I was one of the GBS players, I'd be like, I'm not going to go to that locker room with Jim Philbin after this, because you'll probably have a strong message. But or GBS to finish strong here in this last minute and 40 some odd seconds, and then come out really, really strong in that second period.
Andrew Jones just made his 10th save. Titan team 6th best in the SHL on shooting percentage, scoring goals on 10.3% of their shots. This one comes free. This one by McCrulis, missed the kick. Mendoza has it. Send it down low. McCrulis has it back. That's to the left side. Fires a shot deflected by Tutai, wouldn't go. He'll try a wraparound. He'll hit the side of the net there. It looked like he had more time to just right by the right post, but unable to. 1:15 to go in period number 1. Will Fagan in his own end to the near side for Braden Mendoza. Out to Tutai. He'll deflect this one in, and Carruthers takes it back. Can't get it past Weiss, who keeps it in with a glove. Tutai deflects back up top. Will Fagan tried to pass it down low. Carruthers takes it back. He'll spring ahead. Vidra, look out. Breakaway for Lake Forest. Backhand shot and a big save made by Preston. Give credit to Braden Mendoza as well for making things difficult for him.
I thought Mendoza did a great job here. He does a good job at the blue line. It did spring past him, but then he never gave up. He really never broke his stride. And actually, for Vidra, that was difficult because he only gave Vidra one choice, and that was a backhander, and that was on the right-hand side of the net, and Preston had really cut off the other half of the net. So they did a great job, both defenseman and the goalie on that one.
Season on the line for the Titans, must win. This is not a best 2 out of 3 series. This tournament is single elimination. The Titans, as the higher seed in this matchup, get to host this game. The winner of this game will go on to face Notre Dame College Prep. Whistle sounds here, and they'll call that offside.
It was. The puck came out of the zone, then it was tipped by the Lake Forest player. You'll see right here, he just tips it, but he was outside the zone right there.
That's a good call by you, John. 23.2. Neutral zone draw, Jonah Weiss against Rother. Face-off taken by the Titans. Quickly regained by the Scouts. Here's Meyer with a shot. Deflected by Ryan Mulvey, goes to the far side corner. Blake Hoffer down below the line. Meyer below the net, centered it, but deflects off a stick. Now a shot from way up high, blocked by Will Fagan. He'll clear this one down. Will it reach before time expires? Yes, 3.1 to go in the period. Goalie for a 6-on-5 face-off with 3 seconds.
Yeah, you're not going to take any chances here if you're GBS. You're going to put your best face-off man out there. Probably going to be Hoffer. Maybe Weiss. Yep,
Weiss
it's going to be Weiss.
For the draw. 6 attackers out for Lake Forest with 3 seconds left in the period. Puck out, and the buzzer sounds. First period has come to an end. And applause from the visiting side, Lake Forest, showing some love to their team, who held the number 5 team in the state by the seeds scoreless through 17 minutes.
Well, that wasn't a number 5 team that was like playing the way that they know how to play in that. So, I don't want to keep on coming down on them, but I think that's the message right now is hey boys, who are we and what are we going to do here? And let's put the numbers up for that second period, and let's change this thing around, and let's get it to where, we think that it's supposed to be. Get some of those speed skaters, start hitting some of that tape. Another thing that might be indicative, Dylan, of maybe playing down or what they weren't just ready to play tonight is that, versus by now, Fagan, one of the Fagan brothers, I know once out, would have put the hurt on about 2 or 3 players. So, and he might be saying, well, I'm not going to do that. There's no need. Actually, he gets some really, really clean hits, some big, bashes, and I think that he might be able to set the, just throwing that physicality that he's so used to doing, and just saying, okay, that's my game, right? That's who GBS is, and we're going to get this thing rolling.
Dylan Ward on the call with you, Gerard Boris, our video producer, and Joe Hoffer manning the scoreboard you see in the top left corner of your screen, which reads 0 for the Scouts and 0 for the Titans. This is a Lake that beat GBS Blue in the AHL season. 5-2 win, a 6-4 win. GBS with a 3-1 victory in their final game played. Different GBS team, as this is a much different Lake Forest team that this Glenbrook South team is used to facing.
Maybe Dylan will also see a little bit of that. I think one of the things you can look at is some of their big guys that spend a lot of minutes in the box. GBS is not forcing them to make any kind of penalty errors. They've had 1 penalty, they had a 10-minute misconduct, but only 1 power play. And, with their speed, they can cause more power penalties.
Weiss down low, Hoffer tips it in! And the Titans break the ice just 21 seconds into the second period. Blake Hoffer, the senior, lights the lamp. It's 1-0 Glenbrook South.
Yeah, Blake Hoffer just sitting in his office right in front of the net. And this time, the tip actually eludes Jones, the goalie. Wow, look at that great backhand pass by Pinto. I think he sees Blake Hoffer. I mean, who wouldn't see Blake Hoffer in front of the net like that? He's so big, right? And then he gets that backhander right there, and he's able to redirect it past Jones.
So Blake Hoffer stays red hot, a goal and an assist in Game 3 against Loyola Gold in the SHL quarterfinals. And he gets on the board with his 34th goal of the overall season for Glenbrook South. He's looking for more. Hoffer over the line, left wing side. Down below the line, sent it right in front. Puck is bobbling, comes free, Jonah Weiss, but they're able to tip it out. See if the floodgates start to open for Glenbrook South here after finally beating the goaltender Jones on his 12th shot against. Pinto to the far side, Mulvey out to McCrulis, who tips it in past Barnes. Teddy McCrulis to the far side corner. Below the goal line, two-tie. Knocked away. Near side, Teddy McCrulis sent it to the slot. Cosmeter, that one just over his stick. Mendoza right point. Sending it down low, Teddy McCrulis. Off the boards to Owen Cosmeter below the line. Now McCrulis back up to the point. Will Fagan slides it across for Mendoza, but just offside. And that'll allow Lake Forest to come out with it. Here's Herbert over the line, runs into Will Fagan. There's going to be a penalty call here. Possible interference against the Titans. Looks like Will Fagan was kind of just standing there, right? What else is he supposed to do?
Well, Will Fagan, I can tell you, you're not going to see this on the replay, but Fagan's kind of lining up this Lake Forest player, and he might have said, you know, the puck is too far away from you guys. I'm going to call that penalty. But him and Herbert were sitting there on the ice right here, right in front of us, kind of tangled with each other. And Will might have been saying, hey, listen, you're going to check me, I'm going to check you guys back. So I think he kind of lined up that Lake Forest player a little bit, and it was just, the puck was just too far away.
So second power play opportunity for the Scouts. They are 0 for 1. Ryan Mulvey around the boards, able to get this one past the blue line. Herbert will chase it out into neutral ice. Played off the near board, Caruthers. no pocket picked here by Blake Hoffer. He'll send ahead the speedy Owen Cosmeter. Over the line, Cosmeter dropped it off. Wanted Hoffer with a shorthanded bid, but it's intercepted by Vidra, and he'll skate up with it. Below the goal line, sent it right in front, and it took a little while for the player to shoot. And that was a great scoring opportunity for Lake Forest, and they don't even get a shot away.
Well, that's because of Pinto. You know, not only did Pinto, can he throw some really, really nice assists for goals, but man, he played that beautiful defensive play there.
One more play, looking to tie up this AHAI State Playoff round of 32 game. This one sent down low, Ryan Mull to Blake Hoffer. Trying to get this one ahead for Jonah Weiss. Instead, Hoffer will just circle back into his own zone, kill more time off this scout power play, lift it high in the air and all the way down. Weiss will chase after it, play it off the end boards. Jones gave it right back to Weiss, and Weiss tried to bank that off Jones. Didn't work out that way. Interception again, Blake Hoffer. Across the line. Titans with their third shorthanded opportunity here, perhaps, of this power play. Weiss back up high. Right wing side, fires a shot. That one goes wide to the left. Now here comes Braden Mills coming across the line. Mills, right point. Goes across, off the boards. Wenninger fires a shot. Nice glove save made by Thomas Preston, and he'll hang on.
It's one of my more enjoyable shots, you know, when you have that, like, that was kind of a half slapper, but you can see the Lake Forest player just kind of bringing it to his waist. But what a quick glove by Preston. That was the 8th save by Preston, and that quick glove, he just picked it up. That puck was about 6 inches off the ground.
4 seconds to go on the penalty to Will Fagan. Drop of the puck, controlled by the Titans, and Preston will glove it just as the clock hits 0 on the power play. And the Titans will take this face-off with 5 skaters. 3:11 to go in the second period. 1-0 Glenbrook South on the goal by Blake Hoffer. Face-off at the circle to Preston's right. Owen Cosmeter is ready for the drop of the puck. It falls, Lake Forest wins it. Back up top, Neuwirth with a shot, takes a deflection. Preston nearly had a problem. They try a wraparound, didn't work out. Nobody in the slot as well to get a second chance. And it's dumped right back in by Wenninger. Taken away by South. Outlet pass intended for McCrulis at the blue line. Goes right in on net, and Jones will cover up. That stops play. Offensive zone face-off this time for Glenbrook South.
Dylan Pinto's having a great game. I've seen him so much out there. He's getting himself so involved in all the plays, both defensively and actually making some really great decisions on when to pinch up and getting that offensive part of the play. You know, these guys can do both of it, but I'm showing a nice mix for Pinto tonight.
Ethan Smaha out there. He'll play this one ahead to Tutai. Now McCrulis, shot on goal, bounces in on Jones. He makes the save. Alex Tutai with a follow-up, and that just rolls just wide of the left post. Will Fagan with a shot, looking for a tip by McCrulis, didn't get it. On the second look, Tutai right there to try and stuff it home off the rebound, but he could not.
Smaha had a great game, you know, the last game that I was here that I called. He had a really, I think just a really good, solid game, you know, that call-up. He was impressive.
Teddy McCrulis, you know, for a guy like Smaha, he's seen this Lake Forest team 3 times this year on the Varsity 2 squad, so there's that, as this one's knocked in by Will Fagan. 1-goal lead for the Titans. Here comes Herbert for the Scouts. He'll lift this one in, goes to the far side, played off the glass. Now Will Fagan out to the neutral zone, just past the stick of Boris. And it'll go all the way down for an icing against Glenbrook South. 11:39 to go in the second.
Well, Dylan, GBS threw one up there pretty quick after that period started, and you don't want to let Lake Forest, you know, get their pace down and then slow you up. So let's just hope that GBS can throw that second one in here pretty soon.
Lake Forest on a 4-game losing streak, lost their last 2 games of the AHL season to GBN Gold and Loyola Maroon before getting swept in 2 games by GBN Gold in the AHL quarterfinals under the SHL umbrella for Varsity 2 teams. No Varsity 2 division in the state playoffs, so all the varsity teams are in the same bracket. That's why you see these matchups. Earlier today, actually, the inverse of this matchup, GBS Varsity 2 played Lake Forest Varsity 1, and the Scouts won that one 8-zip. So,
well, you're not getting the same payback here. I did see it's an unusual thing that the varsity team would play Loyola 4 times. Boy, that's one way to build a nice rivalry. I mean, they already had one going, but...
Yeah, 4 straight games against the Ramblers. This is the first time they've seen a different opponent since that overtime win for the Titans against Glenbrook North, the SHL game of the week. Yeah, that was a great set of games. I know it was the regular season game and then the 3-game series in the playoffs. Loyola with 3 wins out of those 4 games. They're down 1-0 in the SHL semifinals right now, down 1-0 in the series. They're actually playing right now, so we'll check on that score next time we can. In game 2, St. Viator is in the SHL final after sweeping York. They will host that single game championship at Mount Prospect Ice Arena. Date of that one to be determined. This takes a deflection, so no icing. Now a big hit here by Braden Mendoza into the boards, and that's gonna cost him, pardon me, not Mendoza, but Will Fagan, as he runs into Aiden Carruthers, who was on the other end of a hit like that earlier in the first period. We'll see what Fagan gets here. I mean, it was a similar looking play. Let's have a look.
Yeah, you know, Dylan, I'm not too sure what the ref, who was standing right there, wanted Fagan to do here. The puck is coming all the way down. The puck is right there when he makes his initial lean into Carruthers. So I don't know what he wanted him to do. Possibly that loud bang has an impact on a referee's decision, but to me, I didn't see anything really that egregious there.
Looks like just a 2-minute penalty. Actually, now the referee will go to the Titan bench. Thought maybe he'd tell them they need someone to serve a potential 2 and 10, and it looks like that's the case. Will Fagan gets a 2 and 10 there. And Tubuchanan will serve the 2 minutes. So the Titans, who are already shorthanded tonight, especially defensively, are going to lose maybe their top defenseman, one of them, for 12 minutes.
For sure, Dylan. I mean, this is, I was questioning whether it was even a penalty. Now it's like you tap on an extra 10 minutes. That's, I don't know, surprising to me. I don't.
Lake Forest is 0 for 2 on the power play. A couple of great shorthanded chances for the Titans last time. This one punched up to the right point, Herbert. Now Carruthers and Mendoza out to Hoffer. They can't tip it out, but now Blake Hoffer will get to a loose puck. And instead of firing it down right away, he'll take a lap back behind his goaltender, Thomas Preston, and co-alternate captain before he fires this one down. That's
a good play by Hoffer, just ragging the puck. That's the second time he's done that tonight, so he probably even could have done it a little while longer.
Aiden Carruthers taken away. Jonah Weiss, nice play as he will send it down, breaking up some momentum for Lake Forest, leading point scorer on the AHL season. Now Herbert trying to get around one man, he could not. That was Mendoza. He'll play this one down to Hoffer. Below the goal line, picked back up by Lake Forest. Edward Vidra gets it out to Carruthers. Now near side Mills brings it across the line. Battle for the puck, near side half wall. 4-on-2 board battle in favor of the Scouts, and as a result, they'll pull it free, but not for long. Blake Hoffer steals it. In on net, shorthanded, looking for the 5-hole and could not beat Jones. He was bidding for his second of the game there. Unable to find it.
You can see Hoffer planted that. We had a pretty good angle on that. You can see him, and sometimes those goalies will show you a little opening there just to entice you to aim it, and then they close that hole once they know that that's where you're going to go.
Now Ryan Mulvey will fire this one down. Owen Cosmeter will be the first skater to the puck, but Jones comes out of his net to play it to the far side and avoid any harm. Nick Neuwirth. Power play is over. to Buchanan out of the box in exchange for a new skater. And we're back to 5-on-5, but still 10 more minutes to serve for Will Fagan. We won't see him anymore in this period. Hand pass is the signal here on this whistle. Halfway through regulation time, it is 1-0. Glenbrook South, the lone goal coming early in this second period by Blake Hoffer. Patton's Nerd says, thanks to Share Games. To watch NHL, I need Disney Plus. It's expensive. Yeah, I mean, we got these games for free. I know the Olympics are on Peacock. USA with a perfect 3-0 group play, but Canada with better goal difference is the #1 seed. Maybe we'll see a USA-Canada championship gold medal game. I think that's what everyone wants. This one played up high, Pinto with a shot. That one blocked on its way and cleared out by Lake Forest. Ethan Smaha to Pinto near side. At least Smaha has an actual number on his jersey this time. It's not just the blank. That was pretty funny.
I think he earned it. He earned his number, 38.
Right. He's 28 if I'm not mistaken on Varsity 2. I don't think Varsity 2 has these gold jerseys either. This one taken away by Anthony Pinto. He'll fire it in. Goes down below the goal line off the boards and played to the far side. to Buchanan gets it down low. Up high, Pinto with a shot that gets blocked. Cleared out to the neutral zone. And out comes Lake Forest. This is Marcel Meyer trying to chase his own dump in. Getting there first is Pinto. Now Mulvey out to the neutral zone off the boards and picked back up by Lake Forest. Manili over to the far side for Barnes. He'll try and play that one back below the line, but with pressure from Akrulis. Instead, he dances around him. Look out. 3-on-2 rush for the Scouts. Rother with a shot and a save made by Preston. Behind the play, Owen Cosmeter to be in a little bit of pain.
Dylan, I think GBS was pretty happy because Lake Forest had some numbers coming at him there, and the Lake Forest player just decided to shoot that one from pretty far out. So Preston was able to say, all right, if that's your choice, I'm just going to put this thing down and we'll get a face-off.
Winner of this game to play number 12, Notre Dame College Prep. The Ice Dons. Titans win this game. They host it right here at Glenview Ice Center. Scouts win this game, then Notre Dame will host it at Stadium Ice Arena in Skokie. Titans, with this number 5 seed, get to host their potential first 2 games of the state playoffs. And then once you get to the 3rd round, it becomes neutral site. Quarterfinals and semifinals at West Meadows Ice Arena in Rolling Meadows. And the state final at Allstate Arena, home of the Wolves. This one tipped ahead by Jonah Weiss. He's got Hoffer in the slot, tried to get it over to him. Getting in the way of that pass was John Barnes. Now up top, Mendoza keeps it alive. Braden Mendoza trying to knife that one down to the goal line. He could not. And it's flipped out by Lake Forest. Edward Vidra gets around Mulvey, but lost the puck in the process. Now Weiss with a great pass, finds Blake Hoffer. He's got a partial breakaway. Hoffer for his second of the game. What a goal! Backhand beauty. And it is 2-0 Glenbrook South.
Dylan, when we see the replay on this, you're going to see Weiss. It's almost like a defensive play and a great pass, all the same thing. We just didn't pick it up there, but you can see here, Hoffer just brings it from his forehand, and he just kind of, it's almost like a pass to himself, and he goes, okay, wait. Right here, he just lets it go, and then he just decides when to chip it in, and he waits, perfectly patient. You'll see it on this angle. He kind of just passes to himself, then he just kind of waits until he knows that the net is open, and then an easy backhand chip in.
Blake Hoffer coming into this game, 5 goals, 7 assists for 12 points in his last 8 games. You can make that now 7 goals, 7 assists in his last 9. With still some time to go here in this one. We haven't even hit the second intermission yet. South adds some insurance to their 1-0 lead, but in a single elimination, season on the line environment, you don't feel safe, only up by 2. Now right in front, Mills with a shot on Preston. He makes the stop. Thomas Preston, 12 for 12. Jonah Weiss with 2 assists as well. Great pass. He was the one who took the shot earlier. This was deflected in by Hoffer.
Yeah, I love that pass by Jonah Weiss. It just sprung Hoffer, but what was cool about it is Weiss was facing his own goal, and he just kind of whipped it. He's a lefty, and he kind of whipped it there and just hit Hoffer right on stride. So you're not going to catch him. His strides are too big.
Braden Mills up top. Manili backhands it. Taken away by Weiss again, looking to spring Hoffer again. He was waiting in the neutral zone. And finally, they realize that Manili comes back to guard him. Blake Hoffer sent it to the slot. Look at Jonah Weiss diving. Rebound Ventura, and that's stopped by Jones. What a sequence there. A couple of great opportunities.
Yeah, Jones keeping his team in it here because he had a couple chances here. The first one is a dive. People thought that might be a penalty. And then boom, I think Weiss figured out a way to get it out there. You can see him, he dives, and then watch this. Look at that pass. I mean, that is sweet stuff. That's kind of like the stuff you see in the NHL there, right? Never give up attitude. That's what I like about Weiss there, and he got a great offensive opportunity in Ventura.
Yeah, I didn't even see in real time that he made that pass. I just thought it took a hot bounce off the end boards, but man, gave it to a wide open Jackson Ventura before a great save was made by Andrew Jones, who's had a great game so far, facing a Varsity 1 SHL opponent here today. This one's given up. Here's Lake Forest. Vidra up top, fires to the net. Blocked by Ryan Mulvey. Now Redding. Pressure from Jonah Weiss. Back below the line. Redding pulls it free, look to center it. Bounces right to the slot. Mulvey looking to get it out of harm's way. Kept free by Redding. Back off the boards, up high to Nelson with a shot. Big save made by Preston, in and out of his glove. He got enough of that. Now here comes Jackson Ventura. He's got Hoffer to his right. Ventura tried to pass across, but Nelson gets his stick in the way. Now Nelson out to Vidra. Taken back by the Titans. Hoffer sends it into the zone. Off the boards, goes right to the blue paint. Graham Vanderploeg looked to crash the net. It comes to the near side corner instead. Tell you what, John, someone in this building is eating chicken wings right now, and they smell delicious. Here's a shot deflected by Nelson towards his own net inadvertently, and it nearly found its way inside the right post.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if it was a GBS player who did that.
Now back up to Ethan Smaha. He'll have to chase this one out of the zone to neutral ice. Near side Mendoza. Braden Mendoza will rifle it in. Preston. Back up high to Graham Vanderploeg. He cannot look out. Marcel Meyer on a 2-on-1. Got the shot away. Great defensive effort from Mendoza. Make it difficult for him and make it a bit of an easier save for Thomas Preston.
You know, I think that he just did not see Carruthers coming in up on the right here. Oh, this is the shot just before this where Preston gets a hand on it. That's Herbert and Ryan Mulvey going at it right there on that last replay.
2:43 to go before the intermission. Shots on goal 18-14 in favor of the Titans. They lead the game 2-0 as they look to advance to the round of 16 here in the AHAI State Playoff single elimination tournament. Titans' most recent state championship, 2006. They beat Loyola Gold at the United Center 2-1 with a late game winner. haven't been to the final game since. John, the closest they have come since then is they'll rush up ice here. Cosmeter stays on side, look to center that one. Grabbed away by Lake Forest. A heartbreaking end to the season in the 2019-2020 season where they were all set to face off against Glenbrook North in the AHAI State Playoff semifinal before the tournament was scrapped due to COVID. And they never saw that season out.
Can I just say GBS won?
Yeah.
GBN players, they could say that they won too. We'll just both claim victory.
Sometimes you'll see, they'll say, you know, you're a co-state champion, but with that they just said no result. That 2020 will always go in the book as not having a state champion in Illinois high school hockey, and you never know what could have happened with that. I mean, GBN in the semifinals to go to the UC, boy, that would have been incredible, but tough luck. By the way, on the other side of the bracket was New Trier Green and Barrington. They were going to play in the semifinals. As this one's past to Ventura, and he scores! Another assist for Jonah Weiss, and Jackson Ventura buries it. It's 3-0. 1:08 to go in the second.
Well, Dylan, this is more like the GBS team that I've seen out there. Like, and by the way, Jonah Weiss is just having a whale of a game because he's just been a playmaker all day. But this one, Ventura just, wow, what a shot. He's like looking, you can see him kind of looking at that open piece, and the only thing he has to do is execute it, and he does it perfectly. Here's going to be a great angle that you can see that gaping hole right there, and he's saying, gotcha, right? And what a great goal.
So Jackson Ventura, the senior, don't let him get hot. 2 goals in the regular season, 2 goals in the postseason so far. He scored in Game 2 against Loyola in the SHL semifinals, looking for another one as he deflects this one towards the net. We're down to our final minute of play here at the Glenview Ice Center, at least in the second period.
Well, it's fun to score goals.
Yeah, 9th of the season overall. For not the younger brother, but the cousin and Nick Ventura. If either of those 2 Venturas I just mentioned are watching, leave us a chat and give us a review of your cousin's goal. Now this one played off the far boards, Weiss chasing after it. Getting ahead, Jonah Weiss sends this one down below the goal line. Hoffer below the line, looking for a pass, he'll put on the brakes instead. Blake Hoffer, right circle, gets around Manili. Tried to go back up top, but Mills takes it away, then Hoffer takes it away from him. To the near side off the boards, Anthony Pinto towards the net, blocked by Carruthers and sent out the other way. Time expired. Second period, all the meanwhile, John, I gotta be honest, I wasn't looking at the clock. A buzzer took me by surprise, but the Titans lead 3-0. It was 0-0 after 1 in period number 2, and the teams will skate into the locker room with 17 minutes to play in a do-or-die game on the season for both these teams.
Dylan, I think that when that first period ended, you know, I think that was a victory for Lake Forest. This period ends, 3 goals were scored, and so Lake Forest, if it was 2-0, I'd still say, you know, the game is unfolding the way Lake Forest wants it to unfold. But little by little, we're starting to see the GBS players kind of wake up and kind of have a little bit more fun out there. You know, when they start scoring goals, you can see their momentum, their speed pick up. And like I say, Jonah Weiss is having just a great game, and he's set up. I think he's gotten involved in every single goal. So, you know, he's got to feel great, and some of these other players will want to jump on the score sheet too.
Primary assist on all 3 goals, you called it, John. Blake Hoffer with 2, Jackson Ventura with 1. We'll go to the intermission here. Glenbrook South up 3-0 in the AHAI State Playoff round of 32. Dylan Ward and John Ward saying don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you on the other side of an ice cut about 10 or 15 minutes right here on the South Hockey Network. Welcome back to the South Hockey Network, everybody. Third period time here in the AHAI State Playoffs, round of 32. Glenbrook South Varsity 1 versus Lake Forest Varsity 2. The Titans here on home ice have a 3-0 lead thanks to 2 goals scored by Blake Hoffer, 1 from Jackson Ventura, 3 primary assists for Jonah Weiss as well. Dylan Ward on the call with you, alongside John Ward, Gerard Boris, our video producer, and Joe Hoffer doing the scoreboard in the top left corner of your screen. Well, John, it's been a dominant effort on the scoreboard, but maybe not as dominant as the Titans envisioned this game going. Some great goaltending from Andrew Jones down to our right, and Glenbrook South in position to advance right now, but you got to finish this one 17 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think that if you look at the paper, it's probably, you know, Lake Forest, you know, they were happy all the way until it was 2-0. Then GBS scored that third goal, and now that, you know, now the game is starting to look a little bit probably like what people thought it should be. Not the Lake Forest fans at all, but and we even have just a sidetrack here in some of our comments still. Brazil, who's watching the game, so I think that's so cool, and that's a long way away. But we're going to get ready for the third period here, and we're going to see if probably should happen is probably GBS put a couple more up, kind of walk out of this building and then rethink about how they want to start the next game. And I don't see Lake Forest coming back, but
We got a couple Lake Forest players in the chat as well. Bobby Rolick, watch out for number 86. He is lethal. Wyatt Nelson, 3 goals, 3 assists in 25 games in the AHL season. We'll check in on some more of those as we are in the third period, back to our first period shooting sides. Titans in the gold, Lake Forest in the gray. Here comes Hoffer. He's on hat trick watch, looking to split the D. He could not catch up to his puck there. Now it's picked back up by Graydon Rother. Below the goal line, Hoffer goes back up to Mendoza with a great effort to keep that in, but unfortunately for him, it does just sneak out of the zone and dump right back in by the Titans. Philbin wants a penalty there, and an awkward collision in the neutral zone. Comes to the near side, brought out by Jackson Ventura. Ryan Mulvey now comes across. He'll take the shot, and that's blockered away by Jones. Now here comes Aiden Carruthers. Carruthers with the game-winning goal at the United Center for Lake Forest JV last year tries to beat Thomas Preston, but the Titan goaltender holds his ground.
Dylan Carruthers has had some really nice speed tonight, number 7 on Lake Forest, and he just showed it again there. He came in off the left-hand side, and he actually just broke towards the front of the net, and I don't know if he saw that he had another Lake Forest player just kind of trailing the play there. Could have dished off, but he kind of went right at it, which is also not such a bad play.
Face-off won by the Scouts. Preston holds on to this one. Let's look at some of these comments. Logan Marsh. Scouts are going to come back. Logan Marsh is the Lake Forest Varsity 1 starting goaltender of the year in the Scholastic Hockey League as well. Bobby Rolick says, what do you think of this Scouts performance at Dillon? I would say they're playing pretty well considering that this is a big mismatch on paper. You see some of these first round scores for the SHL teams. Loyola with a 12-0 win. New Trier with a 10-0 win here in the round of 32. And then you see Lake Forest Varsity 1 with an 8-0 win over GBS Varsity. That game earlier today. So you're going off that. Every SHL team has either shut out their opponent in their first round or been shut out. Unfortunately for Carmel Catholic, they lost 5-0 to New Trier Blue. Vidra over the line. Right wing side, backhander on Preston. And he'll hang on to this one, a couple more here. James Altonen, also on the Lake Forest varsity team. Dylan Ward is an absolute menace, thank you. Logan Marsh is top dog. I would agree. Great goaltender, goalie of the year in the SHL for a reason. He also says fight loading, so keep letting us know your thoughts in the comments section. Maybe let us know where you might be watching from if you're watching out of town. See if anyone's got Brazil beat.
Well, Dylan, going back to that comment on Nelson, I mean, he's a big boy here, sitting on Lake Forest's blue line.
This one sent down will be an icing against Glenbrook South. Look out! And that's William Redding crashing into his own net.
To me, Mr. Nelson looks like he's about 6'2". Oh, here we go. We'll see this puck coming down, and somebody just loses their footing there and crashes into the net. Everybody just wants to get on camera. You know, like they just, what they will do. I'm just kidding.
There's going to be a power play here for Lake Forest. Charlie Preston goes to the box. John, I'm going to be completely honest. I did not see what happened in real time. It goes in the book as unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, maybe he was helped to the ice.
All right, so Lake Forest on the power play. From their perspective, this is a major opportunity to get themselves back in this game. Titans have looked good shorthanded, but Lake Forest has had their moments on the power play tonight. They're 0 for 3. 2 power play goals against Glenbrook North Gold in the AHL quarterfinals. Titans with a clear here. All the way down it goes, and they call icing, but that is a mistake.
Yeah, one of the linesmen is just kind of pointing to his chest. He's saying, my bad, but not the end of the world, you know, it's...
So in the rule book, when that does happen, all the way to the NHL, you drop the puck in the neutral zone.
Center ice, looks like somebody scored a goal.
Faceoff is won by Lake Forest. This one to the far side, Vidra will fire it in. Below the goal line, Thomas Preston, now Ryan Mulvey. Around the glass and out, looking for Blake Hoffer. Hoffer over the line, has to get around the referee, pulls up. Hoffer sets up Weiss, Jonah Weiss. Puck a little too hot to handle for him. Got Seth Weiss on DJ tonight. He's up here in the broadcasting area. Here's Carruthers, meanwhile, takes a shot. Save made by Preston, tries a wrap around, that wouldn't work either. I'm not sure if Preston made the save or if that hit the side of the net. We'll look at it again.
He might have just fired it too early here as he tries the first initial shot, which Preston makes the good save, right? This is his speed, Carruthers' speed. Brings it back here. I think he just, I don't know if Preston was over there yet, and it might have just hit the kind of the post right along the ice there.
Face-off taken by the Titans. Owen Cosmeter fires this one down. No whistle from the linesman this time. Jones out of his net to the near side for Herbert. Now Vidra in his own end. Vidra could not get around Owen Cosmeter there. And Cosmeter will enter the zone shorthanded for the Titans. Look at that toe dragging a shot. Save, or it goes high, I should say. Off the end boards, it went right to Teddy McCrulis, but just a tiny bit, half-second delayed reaction for him. Now Vidra to get around Will Fagan, who is out of the box, done serving his 2 and 10. Net comes off, and the whistle sounds. McCrulis with a shove.
Yeah, I think one of the GBS players wanted to come over, like McCrulis wanted to come over and say, listen, once the guy shoot that puck at my goalie, but the net came off its mooring, and it's, I think it was just kind of a GBS player that says, not worth it.
Patton's Nerd says, guys, click on like. It'll help the channel. Correct about that. Hit like on our video and subscribe to unlock all the features on the South Hockey Network. Live chat. Here's McCrulis, backhander towards the net. Then he crashes into the end boards. And the puck is brought back out by Lake Forest. Mendoza just dumps it right back down. That will finish the Scouts' power play. Glenbrook South now 4 for 4 on the kill, 8 for 8 on the PK in their last 4 games, all in the postseason. 3-0 Glenbrook South. And as they are looking to advance to the round of 16 here in the AHAI State playoffs. Offside here. Titans in the old format would start in the round of 16, but that bye was abolished in 2022. Ever since then, every team starts in the round of 32. It's Titans' first season competing in the round of 32. Beat Neuqua Valley last year, 3-0. St. Viator Varsity 2 in 2024, 8-0. And New Trier Gray in 2023, 4-0. A lot of nothing there, and it's 3-0 here. But the shot's even, or almost even. Here's Ventura waiting at the blue line, gets the puck, tries a shot. That one gets blocked. 20-19 in favor of Glenbrook South, and the shot's on net. Looks like McCrulis is off the bench and being perhaps checked on, or just he's got his right glove off, maybe just trying to shake off a little pain in his right hand after taking that collision into the end boards. We'll hope to see him back in the lineup. The sophomore has had a phenomenal season for Glenbrook South, 17 goals, 18 assists on the overall year for number 11.
He's always been one of my, I think, kind of like very exciting skater for this GBS team. Dylan, I wanted to mention, you know, when we take a look at this game.
Mechanic gets the puck at the blue line. Being pressured by Manili, he's hitting to the boards. Now Blake Hoffer below the net. Sets up Daniel Sokol, couldn't pull that one to his forehand, and it's sent out. Ryan Mulvey. In his own end, the captain of this team, his 4th attempt at a state championship. The Titans haven't been to the Final Four since 2020 and knocked out in the state quarterfinals all of the last 4 years, 5 years, including the post-COVID era.
Dylan, if I could just finish my thought, you rattled off some scores a little bit earlier, 12-0, 10-0, and I think those are some upper tier teams, and I think by the time this thing is over with tonight, you know, Jim Philbin's going to have to talk and think about how he's going to put a better game on the ice here for some of those higher tier teams if GBS gets to that point.
So the way the bracket shaked out is GBS, if they go on to win this game, they'll play Notre Dame College Prep. Coming out of the CCHL and Illinois North Central, they play a double schedule. Titans go on to win that game. They will most likely face the York Dukes in the quarterfinals, who are the 5 seed. Or who are the 4 seed, I should say. The Titans are the 5 seed. Titans, then they would all but certainly play St. Viator in the state. St. Viator is an absolute wagon right now. They just beat York 5-0. Last night. Big hit there by Mendoza, sending a man down to the ice. Now right by the goal line, this one backhanded at the doorstep, and I believe Preston made the stop. Now here's another shot by Mills, and that gets blocked up high. Right in front, and Cosmeter knocks it out of there. Graham Vanderplug looking to send it out. And he can't get it out. Now the Titans finally will.
Yeah, Virdra, I don't know what he did. We'll see it on a replay here. But to me, it looked like he and then put this one in the net. So we'll take a look. Big hit. Mendoza puts that play right there. Just kind of, maybe we'll see it on the behind the net view. That's the big hit by Mendoza. Kind of startles that player, and then just.
Oh, that might have been crossbar.
Yeah, it kind of was like a backhander that just snapped off too early. It was.
St. Viator, as I mentioned, though, 4-0 win in game 1, 5-0 win today over York. SHL semifinals. So they're going to host the single-game SHL final, their first SHL final appearance since 2020. They have never won it all in the league. Here comes a 2-on-1 for the Titans. Cosmeter down the left wing side. What a pass, looking for Hoffer now, right to the slot. Two-tie with a skate on it, and a big save made by Jones. John, that goal probably would have counted. I did not see a kicking motion by Tutai.
Yeah, not the first one. It just hit his stick and just completely redirected, but not, he didn't turn his blade anywhere towards the net.
Something was just shouted by the Lake Forest crowd. Our mics might have picked it up better than I heard it in my headphones. Now Hoffer brings it over the line. Couldn't get around Neuwirth and taken back by Lake Forest out to the neutral zone. Ryan Mulvey punches it in. 8 minutes to go here in regulation. Big collision there. Hoffer sends a man down. That was Meyer. Comes free to Jackson Ventura. Left it. Anthony Pinto left point. Takes a shot deflected by Weiss, and that goes just wide. I'd like to see Jonah Weiss find the back of the net tonight. Great game for him. 3 primary assists.
Dylan, you beat me to it. I've been wanting to say that for the last couple of minutes. I was just waiting, and then
off the far boards and out, Lake Forest. Now Weiss ahead. Jackson Ventura has to reach for this puck as he comes over the line, right wing side. Goldman hits him into the boards. Ventura gets it back, sent it right in front, looking for Hoffer, but that hits the side of the net. Now Pinto from the left side half board takes a shot, but the net is off, it appears. And there you go.
yeah, you know, Weiss has set up so many plays. I just like him to light the lamp tonight. It'd be pretty cool.
Not only does he have 3 assists, John, but he's had some great passes that could have been goals that didn't turn out to be. So this line of Weiss, Hoffer, and Ventura has really been working out for Jim Philbin tonight.
You know, Dylan, I think that, you know, when you look at Lake Forest and you think about GBS having 15 players, 6 defensemen, with Smaha coming up, and then really just 3 lines tonight, maybe it was a little fortuitous that they were playing Lake Forest tonight in this situation with a couple of their players out.
Looks like Lake Forest tried to sneak in a substitution. Braden Rother will be sent back to the bench, and Vidra comes on. Glenbrook South on home ice gets the last change, so good pickup there by the official. Zach Boris. Kept in the zone by Mendoza. Now brought out by Redding. Redding comes across the line, left wing side, looking to beat one man. That was Smaha. He tried to center it, but it goes right to Zach Boris. He's taken down, no penalty there. Vidra keeps it, takes the shot, and that one just goes high of the net. Lake Forest already out of the playoffs, looking to keep their season alive. Zach Boris goes over to Daniel Sokol, backhand pass, looking for Nick, but just away from him off a deflection. Now Vidra slaps it back into the Titan zone. Ryan Mulvey, near side Mendoza. This one ahead. Now to the near side corner. Boris going to center that one. Goes around the boards. Manili, Tutai, takes a shot. That one just high of the crossbar. Now Ryan, left point, fires away, tipped and wide of the net. Rebound Tutai, back up to the point. Mendoza, across for the captain. Mulvey has tons of space, lets one fly, and that misses the cage. All 3 goals in the game came in period number 2. Lake Forest Blue has played a pretty solid game here tonight. Playing up to this Varsity 1 powerhouse, number 5 seed in the state, Glenbrook South. Lake Forest Varsity 1 is the 6th seed. They won their round of 32 game earlier today, 8-0 over this Titans Varsity 2 team, so they're on to the next round. The only SHL team that failed to win so far in this round is Carmel Catholic. Tough season for them, just 4 wins in their 27 SHL regular season games. 2 wins over Lake Forest Varsity 1 though. Now Owen Cosmeter can't split the D, and it's sent back out of the zone by Lake Forest. Mills gets his pocket picked by Hoffer. Blake Hoffer sidesteps Mills, then gets around another near side, and he'll just dump it in. Almost looked like he stopped skating there. I was wondering if I missed a whistle, but
it looked like Ruthers tried to light him up at the center line coming across. Kind of a mismatch on the.
Carruthers tried to get around Pinto, but Anthony Pinto keeps the puck. Now Cosmeter around the boards and out. This will go all the way down. No icing, it's waved off.
I like what Pinto did there. You know, Pinto made the play and he knew he was going to get crunched on the boards. That's taking a hit for the team.
Now Mills 1-on-3, gets around Mendoza. Mills all the way to the net, and a big save made by Thomas Preston. Now here comes Owen Cosmeter. Across the line, looks over his shoulder, thought about a drop pass, instead he'll center it for Ventura. But that one just ahead of him. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third period. The Titans in great shape. We'll see if the scouts pull their goaltender. Usually you wouldn't see that in a 3-game, but season on the line here. As Mendoza tried to center it. Far side corner, played to the now. Mills and Weiss. Taken back by Nelson, and he will fire it out. Now, 3-on-2 for the Titans. Jackson Ventura puts on the brakes, goes to Jonah Weiss, who tried to send one down to the low slot. Picked off by Lake Forest, and they'll get it out to the neutral zone. 3 minutes to go now. 32.
Well, this is exactly what GBS wants. Just kind of like they don't mind playing the puck from their blue line all the way down to the ice. They don't care how much of it is in the center of the. It's because that clock is just ticking away. So they, already down to 15 players. We talked about that a little bit earlier. 10 forwards, 3 defensemen, then the Smaha is the 6th. So they're looking for no injuries, and they just want to close this one out. They don't care if this game ends at 3-0.
Thomas for 20. Between the pipes for the Titans. Here's Smaha with a shot, tipped by Sokol, and a good save required there for Jones. Now far, Graham Vanderploeg. This is puck free, look to center it, but that is off a body of Lake Forest. Now it's off the skate of the referee, which settles it down conveniently for Thomas Wenninger. And Neuwirth tried to stop it with his skate. He's got a piece of it. So we're down to 2:08. Neuwirth out to Carruthers, I should say, trying to get around a couple Titan defenders. Ethan Smaha, great play. And it comes to the near side corner. Smaha, who's faced this Lake Forest blue team 3 times this season in the AHL, called up to be the 6th defenseman tonight, as you pointed out, John. Against Lake Forest Varsity 1. Vidra centers it. Here's a deflection by Carruthers, and it's just wide of the net, and he looks up to the ceiling here at Glenview Ice Center, knowing that he had a chance to put his team up on the board. Time winding down for Lake Forest. 1:22. It's starting to get to that point where you might declare this one over, but not yet. Not quite. Dylan Ward and John Ward on the call with you, South Hockey Network.
Yeah, Lake Forest might be, at a minute 22, I doubt he's coming out. But, your season's on the line, so you'd think maybe he would have done it earlier.
No timeout either. They still have that. Haven't used it. 2-tie. Clears this one down. Boris chasing after the puck, but the puck will win the race to the goal line, and it will be another icing. But more time gets killed off the clock as GBS closes in on the round of 16. GBS holds on here in the last minute 12. They'll host Notre Dame College Prep Another team that they're a bit unfamiliar with, playing in a different league. But that game would be here at Glenview Ice Center. Date and time to be determined. But it would be next week at some point. Here's a shot off the faceoff. Preston makes the save. Now Zach Boris. Down to our final minute of play here in the round of 32. Titans up 3-0 here at home. Charlie Preston over the line, takes a shot, and a save made. Rebound below the goal line, being fought for. Far side corner, Boris. Gonna cycle this one back up to the point. Instead, he'll just send it low. Keep that clock moving. Alex Tutai trying to get that one back up to the right point for Smaha. Can't keep it in the zone. Down to 30 seconds left. Back for Pinto. Anthony Pinto, tipped in by Preston. Boris knocks it ahead. 20 seconds left. Boris in the far side corner tried to center it. Nobody there for the Titans. Lake Forest will try and clear this one out. Tubuchanan takes a man down, no call. Graham Vanderploeg keeps it. Here's a shot and a save made by the goaltender.
Yeah, Boris brought that puck all the way down, and he was just 1-on-5, so he was just like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of hold it against the boards as long as I can. So you can see how GBS is not sending, right? I mean, this is not a regular situation here, so.
Sokol at the face-off circle, tried the shot off the draw, didn't work out, puck loose. Lake Forest can't backhand it out. Tubuchanan will carry it back into his own zone. The whistle sounds with 0.1 second, and they'll let it run. The Titans with a 3-0 shutout victory. Thomas Preston, a perfect 22 for 22. 2 goals from Blake Hoffer, 1 more by Jackson Ventura, 3 primary assists for Jonah Weiss, and Glenbrook South, just what the doctor ordered after that series with Loyola Gold. They win here in the round of 32, taking down the Lake Forest Scouts, and they've got a date with Notre Dame College Prep right here at Glenview Ice Center in the Sweet 16.
And Dylan, one of my favorite things in hockey is the handshake when a series ends, and obviously these weren't like series, these are just one game and done, right? But take a look at these players, and they just, you know, all players just put everything they had out there, and I do think that if you talk to people in these stands, talk to the players, talk to Jim Philbin, I think they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and redesign and put something else and put a stronger effort out, because the competition is just going to get tougher and tougher further on you move into the playoffs.
Yeah, a bit of an unusual matchup here between these two teams. A Glenbrook South team in the SHL, Lake Forest team in the AHL. Both of these teams play the other school on a regular basis, but not these teams. It's almost like a situation where you might see the Blackhawks play an American Hockey League team, right? But Glenbrook South, a heavy favorite. Probably were favored by more than just 3. But all you need is 1 more than your opponent to move on to the next round, and they win 3-0. Thomas Preston, another shutout here on the season. He had 3 in the SHL regular season, 1 in the SHL playoffs against Loyola in Game 1 of that series. And a win is a win as the Titans head back to the locker room here at Glenview Ice Center. So that guarantees 1 more game in this building for all these players, and especially the seniors. That game is to be determined. It will be against Notre Dame, but the Titans do win that one. The rest of the state tournament is at a neutral site, so win or lose the next game, it'll be the last one at Glenview Community Ice Center on the season.
Yeah, listen, I love coming to the games. One thing I really love is just driving over about 3 minutes from my house. But Dylan, it's a 3-0 win for GBS, so you just have to put it on the board and then say, all right, what kind of a better game can I put out there for the big guys that are going to come down the line for when you move down the playoffs. I was just going to mention one last thing. It was just nice to see a couple of the players, Cosmeter, a couple of the Lake Forest players, and just kind of hugging each other at the end. So besides the shaking of the hands, just obviously these guys are friends. They've been playing hockey, probably have seen each other a long time, even though it's a Lake Forest Glenview thing, but it's nice to see.
And you know, not everyone has the same path from JV to varsity 2 to varsity, so maybe in years past, these two players on opposite teams played each other on a more regular basis for whatever reason. But that's going to do it from us here at the Glenview Community Ice Center. For Gerard Boris, our great video producer, and Joe Hoffer on the scoreboard. That's John Ward. I'm Dylan Ward. Not only one more home game, John, but one more broadcast on the South Hockey Network, because we also moved to the SHL Network in the quarterfinals. So be sure to stay tuned to the GBS Hockey website and the social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. As soon as we know the date and time of that game, we will let you know. But what we do know is it will be right here in this building, Glenview Community Ice Center. One more time, the final, Glenbrook South 3, Lake Forest nothing, as the Titans march on to the round of 16 here in the AHAI State playoffs. We'll see you next time on the South Hockey Network.